Good morning, it's time for Citizenship again, and this week we're starting a brand new topic as we are looking at active citizenship. This week the topic is pressure groups. Now, what's a pressure group, you might be wondering? Well, maybe you've heard of some. The first piece of paper that you have in your pack for today's lesson starts off with a bit of a cut and stick naming activity. Here are 4 examples of 4 pressure groups symbols. Remember, you might have studied symbols in RE. Symbols is something that stands for something else. Now, 2 of these, I reckon, would be quite straightforward to tell because, look, you can see shelter, the word is in the symbol, and then Greenpeace, of course, the word is in the symbol. But for these 2, you might know them, or you might need to look them up. So do some research if you need to, ask somebody if you need to, and find out what these 2 symbols are for. Who are they for, sorry, in terms of pressure groups, and just set those out on a piece of paper. Next activity is this. Here is a group of different organisations. Some of them are pressure groups, some of them are not. And can you circle which ones are the pressure groups? Once you've done that, can you work out, or do you know what all of the other ones are? So for the ones that aren't pressure groups, what are they? I can look at some of these and think that, well, one of them is a shop, one of them is a political party, one of them is a TV channel. So sift through what are the pressure groups and what exactly are all of the others. Now remember, certainly with me in citizenship, you have looked at rights and responsibilities. Well, pressure groups also have rights and responsibilities. They have the freedom to protest. Remember, in some countries that's not legal. In Britain, there is the right of protest, of peaceful protest at least. But with that comes some responsibilities. So on the next sheet, you've got this table, which is all jumbled up. So the rights and responsibilities aren't necessarily in the right categories here. So cut all this table up and stick it back together with the rights and responsibilities in 2 different columns. Now, how can pressure groups get their point across? Each of them has a cause, an aim, something that they feel passionately about, but there are lots of different ways that a pressure group can make its point known. On the next 2-page handout, which is entitled Methods of Campaigning, you will see a number of different ways in which pressure groups can operate. For example, demonstrations, for example, marches, leaflets, websites. These are all different ways that pressure groups express what they feel passionately about. I simply want you, like the next sheet tells you, to rank them in order. Which one do you think is best, as in most effective, down to which one do you think is least effective? For example, do you think that demonstrations or marches are really effective because they attract attention? Or are they not effective because they annoy people and that won't help them be sympathetic to their cause? And for today's lesson, there's just a few last little things to finish off with. So once you've numbered them, I just want you to write one short paragraph about the reason that you have placed your most important and your least important in those places on your numbering system. So that's all. That's your introduction to pressure groups. More on that tomorrow. Then on Thursday, you have some specific work on an environmental pressure group. And then on Friday, quite an enjoyable activity, I hope, where you will design your own placard. But that is all from me for a virtual lesson for this week. And then next week, we'll be applying this work even further. So week by week, this builds up into, like I said, our bigger act of active citizenship. Have a delightful time doing this work.